Okay, guys, so welcome back to the channel. So on this one, I wanted to go over, a recent conversation that I saw in our Facebook group regarding like this whole TikTok new acquisition with Oracle, the owner of Oracle or something like that. I forgot what the guy's name is. I think Larry or something. I forgot. Correct me, in the comment section. I'm just going based on what I saw real quick. It's still early, at the time of this video. But I saw someone post like, that they made a post where they were talking about be ready for this wave of TikTokers who are gonna start hitting the influencer program, who haven't touched their account in like a year or so because of this whole new merge thing or whatever. And I find that interesting because now, for one, I really don't know the full details of what's going on behind this whole agreement with TikTok and whatnot. I saw a lot of like changes with their terms of services and whatnot, this and that, but I haven't really seen how it's going to affect like TikTok Shop in general, unless it's just pure politics. Now, if it's pure politics, then I mean, that is what it is. Everybody has their own preferences on their politics, apps, and all that stuff, so whatever. But I have yet to see someone actually say how this is going to affect TikTok Shop specifically, and causing this wave into the influencer program. Because from what I've seen, a lot of apps sites are having issues right now regardless. I mean, even the influencer program, they're being very glitchy with creator connections and whatnot. And I have seen that TikTok, the views are like at zero if you're posting stuff and whatnot. And I'm also saying this because I haven't gone into TikTok in about a few weeks, just because I've been busy with all this and that, so I haven't been able to post on that platform recently. So, but going to this topic, I think it's fair to say that regardless of what happens, let's assume this whole wave of TikTokers just decide to flood into the market of Amazon influencer. I do think I see that it won't make a big huge change regardless if that happens, just because on the TikTok platform, that mindset on that platform is very different from the one on Amazon. And not to mention like the commissions, the scaling, it's very different as well. And that is something that a lot of these TikTokers probably will not like on the Amazon influencer program. And what do I mean by this? Okay, so with the Amazon influencer program, I see it more as like, let's compare these platforms to like the stock market. Okay, you have your stocks that are like ETFs, that you invest into long term. They build slow, they pay you out dividends. They're more of like the safe stuff, like the solid stuff that pay you on a month-to-month basis, over the long term. And then we have our stocks that are like penny stocks, where you're trying to buy these 2-cent stocks hoping they explode in the next week. You buy a ton of them and you either go big or you get nothing, right? So that's how I see these two platforms. They're those penny stocks are like short-term investments, right? So Amazon is the influencer program is like the ETFs, those long-term safe stocks, whereas TikTok is more on like the penny stock side. Okay, you're trying to make that quick money, high risk and whatnot. And even though you don't put risk into these platforms, I guess the biggest investment you're gonna make is your time, right? And that's where I think a lot of TikTokers will be turned down by the influencer program, because like mainly from the reward aspect. Okay, because yeah, with Amazon influencer, in a way, you post a video, as long as it's high quality, there's a high chance you will make some form of commissions. Now that commissions can vary. Okay, if it's just pure on-site, it's going to be a few cents change. If you add it with creator connections, it'll be a few bucks at the max, depending on the product, high ticket, low ticket, all that good stuff. But it's not like TikTok, where if you can make just one very high quality, life-changing video, instead of making those few cents, bucks like on Amazon, you can literally make thousands of dollars from one video. And I think that's where it's going to turn off a lot of TikTokers, is because you're going to be putting that work in, but you're never going to be able to scale it to that amount where you can on TikTok. Okay, you're not going to be able to explode that fast. You're not going to be able to receive that type of reward from the influencer program, because let's be honest, a lot of people in the influencer program are not making over $2,000. A high majority are not. Okay, even just reaching $1,000 a month with this program is already tough enough for a lot of people. And so it's very different. That's why I say they're like the stock market. Like TikTok is like these penny stocks. If you put it the right amount of time work, you can explode and make thousands within literally seconds, right? And that's how I see it. Whereas with Amazon, you're putting all this money, but it's on a long-term basis that starts compounding, piling up, and little by little, you're building up that solid, portfolio, and like that, getting those payouts or whatever. And so I think, because let's be honest, when it comes to the TikTok Shop affiliate program, a lot of people in that program are from the younger generation. Okay, I'm like 32 or so, so a lot of these kids are like probably in their early 20s and whatnot. They're more on the high risk, high reward, and I do think this, the influence program will turn a lot of them off, because you don't get that, in that program. But of course, some will stick to it because it is more sustainable. It is more safe. I mean, even though it's not 100% safe, it's a little bit more, guaranteed in a way, versus the TikTok where, with Amazon, you can create a video and potentially make some income, commissions from it. But with TikTok, you can pump out all these videos and you might not make nothing from it at all, So that's where it's like, that's the difference right there. And so, even though we do see a wave, like I said, I don't think it'll be by much. And one thing I will say too is that even if we do see some form of wave, it doesn't matter, because regardless, there are people joining this program every single day, whether it's from TikTokers, moms out there, or just whoever. There are people joining every day. I am seeing all these ads. I am seeing on these groups talking about the program. Like, you see all these people like, oh, how can I join? How can I join? Where do I sign up? This and that. So people are just signing up on a daily basis regardless, okay? And that's why I say, at the end of the day, what's going to matter, no matter what happens, is the quality of videos that you guys are going to put out anyways, okay? I mean, more than ever, you guys need to double down on the quality of your videos. Get that extra lighting set, get that extra mic that's going to make your quality sound much better. Take your time, editing some things. Take the time, shooting the actual angles of the products that you're using. Like, I don't know, I have this computer desk, has RGB and all that stuff, right? I'm not gonna just talk about it and just have it standing in one, angle. Like, show off all the features. How long did it take to build? Show off what it's made out of. Like just all these little details. Be more intact with your high quality videos, because if you don't make high quality videos, then you guys will be the ones who get burned out from all these, from this influence of all these new influencers getting into the program. But if you're already making high quality videos, you literally have nothing to worry about, okay? Because high quality videos do take a little bit more time than just posting and spamming videos. So, just keep doing what you're doing. Keep on posting high quality videos, and a lot of you will be fine, okay? Even if new TikTokers and whatnot join the program, like I said, I do think a lot of them will be turned off, because you just can't make thousands off one video doing this program, man. And if you can, it's very, very rare compared to how the TikTok platform works, okay? Like, that's just, it's crazy. And those TikTokers, I mean, don't get me wrong, they will have probably a higher advantage over some of us, well, a lot of you, because they do come up from my background that's more, on the high quality side from the videos that they make on TikTok. But even those people, they're not going to affect your commissions whatsoever, okay? So just keep doing what you're doing, keep posting, and you guys should be absolutely fine. As far as what's going to happen with TikTok and all this and that, who knows? Time will tell. We'll just keep seeing how, what happens throughout the day, throughout the week, and we'll really just go from there and see what happens, all right? So, but that's just my thoughts for today. Hopefully, just don't let something like this ruin your day or let it affect how you're gonna, do this and that. Just keep doing what you're doing, all right, at the end of the day. But with that being said, guys, I am out. Peace. Enjoy the rest of your day. I'm out.